Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. So one thing I get asked the most, other than a tattoo tour video, is who are you? Tell me more about yourself and like your background, which is absolutely valid because as someone who started making TikTok videos like 2 years ago and I rebranded my YouTube channel 6 months ago, I don't talk a lot about my private life. I just don't really share a lot about myself, just very small things. I mean, by now you guys know I have mommy issues, but that's about it. Other than that, I just keep things pretty private. And I think that's mainly because I never really came into the social media scene wanting to be like an influencer, and I don't really want to be one, and that's not shade at all. I just know I'm not cut out for that life. I get very easily overwhelmed, and I also hate being perceived, so it's like so ironic that I make videos on the internet. I'm on YouTube and TikTok because I actually have a huge passion for filmmaking. I love creating content more than anything in the world. It is that one thing where I can do for hours and hours and hours and never get bored of. Whether that's like brainstorming ideas, editing, producing, whatever it is, I love it. It's literally been a personal hobby of mine since I was like in the 2nd grade. I used to make like stop motion videos with like my mom's like Canon camera. So I naturally gravitate towards making videos, but I started posting on TikTok 2 years ago. And with that, I started getting a small following because people seem to really like my room. So today I just really want to sit down and chill and talk to you guys about my YouTube and TikTok background, as well as share some big life updates. So if we're being honest, I literally thought TikTok was like the stupidest thing ever. I was that judgmental pick me friend that I was like, I'm never fucking downloading TikTok. Oh my god, no. And I literally made fun of TikTok my freshman year in college because my best friend slash roommate had it, and she would send me TikTok videos all the time and I would just be like, no, I'm not watching that. And she and I slept in the same room. And literally every single night she would be like giggling in her bed with her AirPods in, like scrolling on TikTok for hours and hours, and I would make fun of her. And Nil, yes, I'm talking about you. So literally I was like the biggest TikTok hater. I just did not understand it. But then maybe a year or 2 years later, I like downloaded the app and then I got it. I understood why it was everyone's obsession, but I would just be a watcher. Like I didn't make any content. I didn't even make any content with like friends or anything like that. And making TikTok videos like never crossed my mind when I was on the app because quite frankly, I just didn't know how to like make a video on TikTok. I literally felt like a Gen X using an iPad. But fast forward, I kind of went through my depression era and I was depressed heavily. And this wasn't my first time being depressed. I was definitely like a happy depressed kid in high school, but I was 21 years old and this was like the rock bottom of the rock bottom. So to set the scene of depressed Scala, I was 21 years old. I felt extremely clueless in life. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't eat. I was heavily addicted to nicotine. So it was a really, really hard time. And then I don't really remember what happened, but I was like, fuck it, I want to make TikTok videos. So in the summer of 2021, I started making TikTok videos. And I really don't know like what inspired me, but I was just having a lot of fun with it. And I would make like a day in my life videos and like room videos and haul videos, and literally like making TikTok videos like kind of saved my life because I was having so much fun. And I was also a very dedicated film student back in high school. And I also went to school for film when I was 19, and I just like had a huge passion for film. But when I was 21, I had taken like a long break from filmmaking. I actually kind of like gave up on my film dreams. So I think even just making videos for TikTok, it like ignited this like light and passion in me. And that's kind of how I got started with TikTok. And then this winter, I was living in Japan with my mom for 2 months. And I don't know what happened, but I was like, I want to make YouTube videos. And before my YouTube rebrand, I used to make film videos like all the time. A lot of them are like privated, but if you look at my videos before my rebrand, you can see like some of the videos I'm talking about. And with YouTube, like I've always made YouTube videos when I was like in elementary and middle school. But when I was in Japan, I don't know what happened, but all I could think about was making YouTube videos, right? And like I just started scripting and like brainstorming ideas. And literally the second that I got home from Japan, I started making videos, and here we are now 6 months later. And I'm honestly still in shock that I like started a YouTube channel because I've always been like terrified of like putting myself out there, and I was always afraid of like what people from my hometown would say and things like that. But I just had to like be a little delusional and just be like, it's fine, just fucking do it, girl. So that's my little backstory with YouTube and TikTok. I hope that made sense because I literally rambled for 20 minutes. So now I want to revisit my 2023 goals and just talk about them and see if anything's changing and some big life updates. So I definitely started 2023 with a different set of goals. At the start of the year, I was actually living in Japan, so I celebrated New Year's there. If you didn't know, I live in America, I live in Seattle, and then my mom lives in Japan. But at the start of 2023, my goals were to finish my bachelor's program, ultimately leave Starbucks, save enough money to move out and get my own apartment, travel a lot and visit my friends, and relaunch my YouTube channel. So those were my 5 main goals. And then I feel like other things were just like get toned, work out, sleep more, eat well, you know? And I didn't include a lot of like mental health stuff because another side note, the last 3 years I've been in therapy and I've been doing a lot of self-work and building a really great relationship with myself. My mental health this year has probably been the most stable since I was like a preteen. I genuinely feel very, very happy and consistently happy. And whenever I feel a little weird, I can always tell it's like my hormones. But I will always have compassion for myself and mental health because life is not easy. We're humans. This is life. I think we're meant to feel all kinds of emotions and feelings. Everything comes in cycles and events, and I'm not gonna be surprised if I ever struggle with mental health again. But I'm incredibly proud of myself because it took me a long time to get here. But as of now, I feel really, really good. The last like 2, 3 years, 4 years, I don't even know, were really, really hard. There was a time in my life where I just hated myself. I couldn't get out of bed. I would sleep for like 14 hours a day. So the fact that I'm like 23, very happy, very confident, it really means a lot to me. But back to my New Year's resolution, let's talk about what's changed, what I'm still pursuing, and updates. Number one, I did leave Starbucks. That was like a huge deal for me. But I left Starbucks back in March 2024, and that was like a really hard thing for me to do. The only time I wasn't working there was my freshman year in college, where I took like a 9-month break. And another time I quit Starbucks was when I was a shift supervisor, and I had the most toxic manager ever. She ended up getting like transferred. It was like insane. She was doing like illegal things. So I left Starbucks for like 2 or 3 or 4 months, I don't know, something like that, and then I got rehired later. But nonetheless, it was a really big part of my life and identity, and I also made a lot of like TikTok videos about a day in my life as like a Starbucks barista, so I also got followings from there. When I was working at Starbucks though, I always had like another job, which was like, I don't know why I did that to myself, but I was someone who like chronically would have like 2 jobs at the same time. I was a hostess slash busser at a sushi restaurant, and I also used to be a caregiver at an assisted living place because there was a time when I wanted to be like a nurse really badly for like 6 months. I thought it was like meant to be because my family from both sides, my dad and my mom, there's a lot of doctors and nurses. So I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like a nurse. Literally no, I am too small brain for that. Everyone in my family is literally so intelligent. Every cousin, every parent, every uncle, aunt, whatever. I also have 2 older brothers and they're insanely smart, and I'm like the youngest sister. I just have small brain, I do. And my new job was working at a local Japanese cafe, but I worked at this cafe up until August. This week is actually my very last week there. I feel like it was such a great transition out of Starbucks because I was still in the food industry, so I was still very familiar with everything, but I was making more money, the hours were better, and it was close by, so I could just walk there. I also picked up a second job this summer working as a barista at a restaurant that my brother serves in. I just gave in my 2 weeks there as well, so I have 2 more shifts, but I work there on Saturdays from like 7:30 till 3:30. This job has been the most chill job ever with like the least amount of labor, and it's my highest paying job too because the servers tip me out, and I honestly still want to work there because the money is great, but I had to leave both my jobs because I got a office job. This is my very first big girl job, and I am so excited. I've been in retail for the last like 7 years since I was 16, so like to have like an office job, I like cannot even like think about it. I've been working in retail since I was 16, so that's 7 years of customer service, and I cannot even like imagine having a job where I'm like sitting at a desk, like oh my god. So it's a full-time position with amazing benefits, and I'm gonna be working with like an amazing team, but I'm working as a administrative assistant at a eating disorder clinic. It was my first time where I had to like go through like 2 rounds of interview. I had to like prepare myself. It was very like challenging because it was like a new territory, because the questions were nothing like the questions they asked you in like the food industry. So there was just like a lot of preparation and anxiety, but I'm just so happy that I got the job offer, and I like literally cannot wait. I start in 2 weeks. Next thing on my New Year's resolution list was travel, and I'm really happy because I feel like I've been traveling a lot this year. So I went to Chicago in May to visit my bestie Mel, and that was so much fun. I hadn't seen her in like 4 years, and we were like college roommates, and I really love Chicago. I think the city is beautiful, and I honestly miss living there minus like the winters. I also visited my bestie Emma, who lives in Nashville. I hadn't seen her in like 2.5 years, so that was insane. But she was my old apartment roommate, and we used to work together at Starbucks, and she was like someone that I always looked up to, like my big sister. And then in September, I'm going to Hanoi, Vietnam with my mom and my brothers. This was very spontaneous, and we've never done like a family trip like this. I feel like when it comes to like me and my brothers, when we do family trips, it's always to like visit my mom in Japan because we don't see her very much. But I'm really excited because my mom loves Vietnam. She talks about wanting to move there all the time. And hopefully after that, I will be visiting Philadelphia in the East Coast. So one of my best friends, Caitlin, she moved there last year. I've been talking about moving in my TikTok videos for a minute now, and I never really disclosed where I am moving, but I am planning on moving to Philadelphia in March 2024. There are definitely moments where I'm just like, oh my god, am I really doing this? But Caitlin is one of my best friends. I look up to her so much. I see her as a sister. She's so close to me and she means so much to me. But she moved back to Philly last year with her partner, and we all three of us talk about it. And for the past like 3 years, like Caitlin and I have always joked about like living together. We are really similar when it comes to like living styles, and she's the only person I trust living with. They also have 2 cats, the most gorgeous cats ever, and I just cannot wait to move in with them. Literally for like the past year, she's been sending me photos and videos of Philly, and I just like, I cry inside. I'm just like, I want to be there so badly. I think it's so gorgeous. The only thing that's stopping me from saying I'm officially moving to Philly is because I've never visited. So I need to visit first and see if I like it. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. Everyone in my family is also really supportive with my decision, and they're all really happy for me. I do have a car and I want to take my car. So my brother, my dad, and I, we talked about doing like a road trip from Seattle to Philly. I know it's really far away and I'm not thinking that far right now. When the time comes, we're probably gonna do U-Haul, or I might ship things. I don't really know yet, but I literally can't wait to move. I love Seattle, but I've outgrown it, but I really want to challenge myself and I really want to live in the East Coast. So that's where I am with my moving, and I am really excited about that. Okay, so next thing on the list was finish my bachelor's program, and I want to talk about that. So in my TikTok vlogs, I talked about being a full-time student, and then I just stopped talking about school. And that's because this spring I actually withdrew from my program. It was a really difficult decision just because I am a really hardworking student. I have like a 4.0. I've been on the president's list every quarter, and I'm really proud of my work. It was a really hard decision that I confided with my oldest brother, and I asked for advice from him. I don't want to go super into it just because my college experience journey is so freaking long. But long story short, I was in my 3rd year. I got accepted into my bachelor's program, and I was doing my 1st year in that. So it was really hard to make that decision to leave school, but I generally was just like so unhappy with it. And I was like, this is like killing me. But my plan is to still finish school. I do want to complete my degree because, you know, I've been in school for so freaking long. And to be honest, you guys, withdrawing from school was like the best decision for me. I don't regret it at all. It's given me so much freedom, and I'm just really happy that I made that decision. I'm looking at my list right now, and I feel like the other things to address are my YouTube channel, which I did relaunch, so that's awesome. And I am saving money right now to move out and to move to Philly, so I think those are my resolutions. 2023 has just been incredible, and I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm just really happy with where I am in life. I also cannot thank you guys enough for like supporting me. I genuinely, like, it means so much to me. I recognize the names, the profile pictures on my TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Goodreads, all that, and I love talking to you guys and connecting with you guys. There was a lot of times when I wanted to quit TikTok because I just felt so foolish and silly, but you guys like made my day every day. But I literally love you guys so much. Thank you for always supporting me and loving me. But I will see you guys very soon, and I love you guys so much. Please have the most fantastic week, and I will see you guys soon, like I just said 5 seconds ago. Okay, bye!